And now, let's go to verse 4, 5, and 6. To you is commanded, O people of all nations and languages, that when the time you hear the sound of so and so and so and so and so, you bow down and worship. If not, you will be cast immediately into the burning fiery furnace as a sacrifice to Marduk. The word immediately means that if you don't bow down, what happens next second? Okay, let me ask you. When the 3 young men didn't bow down, did he throw them away immediately in the furnace? Well, why not? I want you to imagine that you are there. I want you to imagine that the music starts playing and all the crowd, all the officials, and among them there are a few other young men from Judah that they are all wise, educated, from king's family. And there is the king himself, Zedekiah, who should have been an example for God's people, who should have stayed straight. And they all bow down. And they know if they don't bow down next second, they will be killed. There is no discussion. It was all about worship. It was all, at the end, it's going to be all about worship. Who worships the image? We talk worship here. So they all bow down. The pressure around, everybody, don't be stupid. You don't have to believe in that God. Just pretend. It's not a big deal. You bow down a little, as I heard somebody, tie your shoelaces, and then get up and say in your mind, I believe just in God. I don't believe in this stupid Marduk. But it saves your life. Is it a big deal? Everybody, you look around. Everybody bows down. Was it a big deal or not? I want you to know this, that the worship issue is going to come soon again. The worship issue, Revelation 13. And I want to show you a few slides before we finish today, and we will continue next time. First, I want to ask you, if you were there, what would you do? Be burned in the fiery furnace? The 3 young men didn't know the story. They didn't know the end of the story. You and me, we do. They didn't. They could have been burned. They could have been killed. But they made a decision. I would rather die than to compromise. They are ready to give up their lives, as it says in Hebrew 11, to be burned by flames. So let me ask you, what would you do? It's going to come soon. What are you going to do? How long it took for the 3 young men to make a decision? In your opinion, did they make the decision then? I don't think so, church. I think they had to make a decision with the food in Daniel chapter 1. You remember? And I think they had to make another decision, and then they had to make another decision, and then they had to make another decision, and from small to great, they were prepared when the big crisis, the final crisis came. And I think that as they practiced day by day, taking a stand for the God of the universe, they trained themselves to stand straight for God. Church, small things matter. You cannot compromise in something today and hope that you will not compromise tomorrow. I want you to notice that the trials come in increasing importance and intensity. First, they were tempted with food, weren't they? Eve in the garden, Jesus in the wilderness was tempted with food. You remember? Secondly, the challenge, prayer. You cannot pray to any other God for so many days. You remember Daniel? Worship the image. That's public already. Prayer is private. Worshipping is public. From small to great. From personal to public. The 3 young men were ready before the trials. They got prepared on a daily basis in smaller challenges. They were faithful in small things. I am cutting from the paragraph giving the essence. Having faith in God and experiencing God on a daily basis. When the trials came, they were ready. Their decision was already made. They would stand for God at any price. They did not forget how God has led them in the past. And they knew that their God is able to deliver fully those who believe in Him. And even if He didn't, they love Him more than their own lives. Those who stand for God and honor God, God will honor them and deliver them. He is able to deliver to the utmost. Our God, they say, whom we serve, is able to deliver us. And even if He will not, O King, we will not worship your gods. Isn't that nice? I'm not going to continue how they heated the fire, what they used, what is the symbol. We'll continue next time, church. But I'm going to make an appeal to you. I'm going to throw a challenge at you. Church, you will not, we will not be able, in a spare of a moment, in a crisis, the greatest crisis in earth history, like never before, we will not be able to be ready and to stand unless we stand today. Every single day, every single challenge, every single small decision, every word, every thought, every action, today counts. That's what God allows, because the Bible says that nothing happens by chance, but all things work together. Whatever God may allow in your life, whatever you may go through, there is a purpose behind, and you don't need to understand why. You don't need to understand how God works. You will eventually. But until then, God allows it for a purpose. And instead of struggling how to solve the problem, I would rather say, struggle to learn the lesson. Struggle to take a stand without compromising at any price. You may have to lose your job. You may have to lose your health. You may have to lose your freedom. You may have to lose your house. They were willing to lose their lives. Oh, Pastor, I lose my job. How am I going to pay my mortgage? I got to. No, you don't have to. Seek first the kingdom of God. And God promised, and our God is able to deliver. All the other things will be provided. Who said that? Me? Jesus said that. Is my God lying? Is your God lying? Oh, He will come through. But before He comes through, He wants you to make a decision. Like Abraham, I'm ready to the point of sacrificing my son or myself. I'm ready at any price. You and nothing else. I would rather die. Job is nothing. House is nothing. Make a decision today in small things if you want to be able to make a decision tomorrow when the crisis comes.